Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while. I am so sorry. I have been doing the most. Okay, we're going through a whole lot of life changes. Stay tuned to the vlogs to see what I'm talking about. But today I have a fun video. I'm going to do a mostly full face of Dior products. This one was kind of requested on my Instagram, so let's just jump into it. I don't even have to chit chat. We'll just get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with eyes. Now, I picked up this Dior eyeshadow palette. This is the Dior Backstage palette in Cool Neutrals. And it looks like this. So there are a lot of like pinkies, mauvies, purplies, kind of a situation. And then it has this little color right here. And this is actually going to be a base color. So I'm going to attempt to use it. This is like a little eyeshadow primer. We'll see if it is any good. So I already just did my brows off camera. Actually, let's do two things really quick. I'm gonna start with the primer. So this is the Dior Forever Skin Veil. So this has a correction, extreme wear, moisturizing, protection, illumination with sunscreen. Does it say what? So it has an SPF 20 in it. So I'm thinking it might show up a little gray. So let's just start off with a little bit. So it's actually funny, this was my second take putting on this primer. Basically, if you use too much, sweetheart, you will look real ghosty. So you can see I'm kind of working it in and patting it in as opposed to like rubbing it around. I did find that the consistency was nice. It wasn't like too sticky, but I feel like it gave a little bit of a smoothing effect. As you see, there is a little bit of the grayness, but it's not too bad. So then I'm going in with the base that was in that palette, and I am just using my finger to pat it all over the eyelid. This one got a little sticky and it can get chalky, so I definitely recommend to just pat it as opposed to rubbing it around as well. So basically I just build it up till I am satisfied with it, and when I am, I'm going to move on to eyeshadows. So I really wanted to do a bright brow bone highlight because I haven't done that since 08. 2015, I don't know. But anyway, so I am starting off with the lightest color under here. I will end up blending it, so don't worry. As you can see, there is a little bit of chalkiness coming off, which I kind of expected just given the color range that's in the palette. But once you actually get them on there and blend them, I do think the color payoff is pretty nice. And I do think the blendability is there. So I'm going to take this next color and I'm going to take it on a fluffier brush and I'm going to start warming up the crease, which is kind of funny considering it's a cooler color. But I'm going to just start adding color into the crease. And then what I'm going to do is make sure I go over this brow bone highlight just to kind of bring that color down a little so it's not as like bright and ashy, you know. But I still want it to be bright under there. So as you see, I just kind of like mix it around. So this was kind of one of those eye looks that I made up as I went. I kind of had a general idea and I decided to do a little bit more of like a halo eye. So to really achieve kind of that depth that I'm always looking for, I go in with a smaller brush here and it's a little bit flatter as well. And I really start working that darker color into the crease. I put a little bit on the eyelid, but I'm not really going to focus on the eyelid. And I am going to bring that really into the inner and outer corners just to build up that depth so then we get some dimension when we are going to kind of sort of cut the crease and add on the colors. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised by how well the eyeshadow base was working. So I decided to use that same color to give us that halo eye. So I kind of start off like I'm about to cut the crease. I don't really focus too much on the inner and outer corners because that's going to be covered with color. But I am going to really focus in the middle. I kind of lay on like the base of it first, and then I go in to really start to sharpen it up a little bit. And then when I am happy with that, I just go on to the other eye and I just do the same thing. So once I more or less get them even, I'm going to pack on the shimmer. That is going to be the piece de resistance, which I assume I always say wrong, but hey, I do makeup, not accents. So anyway, I pack on the shimmer. When I feel like that's even, I go back in with that smaller kind of fluffier brush and I take that same dark color and I am going to start to bring that color from the outer crease slightly inward. Now I do want to keep it focused on the outside and I don't want to completely cover up all of the shimmer because then it's just gonna ruin everything that we worked for and I don't want that. So then I am going to switch to a smaller brush and I just wet it a little bit with setting spray, and I go back in with that shimmer, and then I just kind of use that to really sharpen up the top of it. And that's just a trick that I find helps, and it makes it look a little bit more put together. And that's why I said don't worry about placement. It's not the worst thing in the world if they're not completely perfect. Then I'm just going to go in with my eyeliner, and I'm doing it a little bit more, I don't know, is this a cat, a fox, something? I don't know. It's a little bit thicker on the outer edge. Then I take that same shimmer, and I'm just putting that above the eyeliner, which is super optional, but I felt like it gave it a little pop. I'm going to use my Dior Show Pump and Volume Mascara, which is one of my favorite mascaras ever. If you actually have eyelashes or longer lashes, then this is going to work so much better. I then go in with my color corrector, and I am going to let that dry down and sit. And while that dries down and sits, I am going to put on my lashes. I usually use tweezers because it's easier, but I guess since I had short nails, it wasn't the worst thing to put them on today. So now I'm going to just tap out the color corrector. Now you can always build it up more if you really want to cover up any darker areas. I mostly just want to take away the grayness. The darker spots don't especially bother me. So I am going to use my Dior foundation, which is more of my summer foundation, which you can see because it is a lot richer than my skin. But that's also helpful because I use so much SPF on my skin, I never really get darker in my face. But as you can see from my body, it is quite a bit darker than the rest of my face. So I'm just going to use this Morphe brush, and I am going to just blend it out everywhere. Then I go in with my Dior concealer, which if you are not new here, you know I love. So I am just going to put that under the eyes, center of the face, and I just use that same brush to blend everything together. Sometimes that's kind of a good trick that I find, is that if you use the same brush to blend everything, for some reason I feel like it just blends better, even under the eye. And so as you see, I just tap. It does help that this kind of has like that weird pointy, roundy kind of an edge, so I can get right under the eye, and I love that. Then of course I'm going to take my Dior powder, which I also have used for a long time and many videos, and I'm just going to set everywhere that I highlighted pretty much. And I am obsessed with this powder. It's like the perfect neutral kind of a color, and it never goes ghosty or ashy, and it photographs so well, and I'm still to this day obsessed with it. And I just make sure I added a little bit more powder on both sides of my nose. Now I'm going to go in with a new one. I'm excited, you guys. I haven't tried this bronzer yet, but it looks pretty. So I am just going to bronze / contour and kind of give a little bit more dimension to my face. And honestly, even just packing it in, I love the color. It's dark enough, but it's not too red. It's not too purpley, like, or anything weird, you know? So I love that. And now I'm just going to especially bronze around my wig line, because you don't want a weird seam or anything, you know, you don't want that showing. So make it all cohesive. Perfect. So then I did go ahead and line my lips off camera. Whoops, because I don't have a Dior lip liner. But before I really go into the lips, I take a little bit of that same bronzer and I go down both sides of the nose. Y'all know I'm not a big nose contourer because I like my nose and I like the way it looks. But I do like also having a little bit of that color pulled in to the center of the face, because I feel like, you know, it's cohesive. And then I'm going to go in with this purpley pinky kind of lipstick that I had from Dior, and I thought it fit so well with this look. Okay guys, so this is the final product. Hopefully you really like it. I really enjoyed this. I love Dior. Dior is probably one of my favorite makeup brands. Dare I say that? I think I dare. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorites. I am obsessed with pretty much everything that they put out. I don't know if I found anything that I don't like yet. I should have got a blush, but it's all good. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Definitely leave a comment if you like this full face. Let me know. I would love to do more of them for you guys. And yeah, other than that, I will of course leave some videos for you to check out next. And yeah, I encourage you to stick around, stay tuned, all of that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.